Wide. Used to train Fortune 500 companies and CEOs all over the globe. Came to my house when I was about a month and a half into the business. And he said to me, "Where do you want to take this?" And I said, "All the way to the top." And he said, "You know, I hear that from a lot of people, but the look in your eye, I believe you." And he said, "Listen, man, I'm going to be right up front with you. I need you to communicate with me. I'm going to show you how to do this business where you can fly, where you don't get bogged down. It's very simple. Simplicity duplicates, complexity won't." And he said, "But if you're going to try to do this business your own way, I'm going to clap for you. I'm going to root you on, but I can't give you not 1 second of my time." I dropped my ego, because I had an ego, because I was successful in business. I was a big business owner. I had money. I had properties. I had all the better things in life. I wanted more. I wanted with this opportunity, the same 2 texts I got yesterday, knowing that if I go down today, knock on wood, I hope I don't, I did my job. I did my job for my family. That's why I'm hitting this. I can make money anyway. I just love helping people. So the man that's responsible to our success is a guy I'll be indebted to for the rest of my life, as well as Ellen and Scott Struber and many other people in this room. You won't hear too many people with his background, his experience in corporate America and being around the best in the world, the Les Browns and the Bob Proctors, you name it, he's been there. I asked him about a month ago, and his schedule is crazy busy. I said, "I got some really beautiful people down in Maryland. Can you come down with me? I'll pick you up at your house." We left at 4 o'clock this morning. I was so pumped just to know I was coming here to see each and every one of you. Wouldn't matter if I didn't sleep a nod or a wink last night. I want to bring up my mentor, my savior, a dear friend who I can call a brother, Ambassador number 2 earner, approaching $5 million, Bob Quintana.
Listen, guys, thank you. Thank you, John. Guys, I'm humbled. First of all, can we have a big round of applause for John and Lola Biantek? Let there be light. How about a business? And I was talking to Tom earlier about this. How about a business where you can do well by doing good? That's right. How about a business where you can change your own life by helping people change theirs? How many like the idea of that, right? Just the concept of that. Pretty attractive, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, guys, John was talking about his dad, and I was really thinking, I was like, you know, I've spoken in front of groups. I mean, I've stood on stage with Tony Robbins at Madison Square Garden in front of 18,000 people, right? And I was sitting there tonight, and my heart was beating as John was just getting ready to call me up, because I was saying, what can I say today that will maybe inspire you in some way to take advantage of this opportunity, the way John and Lela have, the way Scott and Ellen have, the way Lou has, the way so many other leaders and players, Hannibal, other people in this room have, and thousands of people around the country, soon to be around the world have. And you know, guys, what? I'm just going to talk to you here, with you here for a few minutes. You know, John was talking about his dad. He was talking about his father. I've been thinking a lot about my dad recently. I'm the son of Cuban immigrants. My parents, Cuban immigrants in 1960. I was born a year after they came over. In fact, 2 days ago, I'm sorry to say, was the anniversary of my dad's passing. He passed away 13 years ago, and I can't believe it's been 13 years. And I miss him so much, and I wish he could see. I know he sees it, but I wish he was here really participating in the stuff that we have had such tremendous good fortune to be a part of. But that being said, you know, my parents love this country. My mom, thank God, she's 88, still doing pretty well down in Florida. My parents love this country. Literally, my father would get tears in his eyes when the Star Spangled Banner was playing. I was brought up to believe that in this country I could be anything that I wanted to be. That's what my brother, my sister, and I were brought up to believe. I believe it. I believe it now more than ever. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, guys. Son of Cuban immigrants. Grew up in Old Bridge, New Jersey. Anybody ever heard of Old Bridge, New Jersey? That's my point. 3 people have heard of Old Bridge, New Jersey. All right? So I'm a Cuban kid, born of Cuban immigrants, born in Brooklyn, New York, raised in a town that nobody's ever heard of in New Jersey. And here I am. How about that? You ready? You know what I'm saying, guys? I'm saying if it happened for me, why not you? If it happened for a Cuban kid from Brooklyn, raised in New Jersey, why not you? You know, there's no reason. If it could happen for a union pipe fitter and his wife, it could happen for a guy who kept getting fired, in the radio business.
Laid off.
Okay. Why not you? Why not you? Guys, here's the thing. So you know what the difference is though? Because we've had tons of really, really talented, super talented, more talented than me, John, any of us, that haven't done it. And we've seen people that came in with very little or no natural talent, no experience or preparation for this kind of business that have blown this thing up. What's the difference? The difference is what John was talking about. The difference was those people made a decision. They drew the line in the sand. And for me, guys, that line in the sand came when I found myself over $500,000 in business debt. Now, I wasn't out there buying Ferraris. I was reinvesting in my traditional business. You know, Kia was talking about $14,000, $15,000. My overhead to turn the key on my traditional consulting business was about $40,000 a month. That was just to break even. We were bringing in $2 million on the front end in consulting. My clients were companies like J.P. Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Blue Cross, Ford, Prudential, a lot of other big companies, a lot of small and mid-sized companies as well. So we were bringing in a couple $1 million in our best years on the front end, and I was mismanaging because I was a relatively young entrepreneur. I was in my mid-30s. I was making really bad decisions. You know, I thought I knew what I was doing. I really didn't. And found myself in $540,000 in debt. How many of you, by show of hands, now feel a little bit better about your own level of debt? I did that for you. So when I realized, guys, that's a traditional business model, now I got myself out of that debt. That's a whole nother story we don't have time for right now. I learned a tremendous amount, committed I was going to get out of it, got out of it, was still in my traditional business, went on to make millions more in that business. And it was great, to a degree. But what I realized that was a part of that business was that it was always going to be me trading time for money. Me always having to go out and close the next deal, find the next consulting engagement. And as far as, employees, I had 23 employees. And what I found was that the people that wanted to stick around were the mediocre ones, maybe at best, because they wanted to pick up a paycheck. And the really good ones, after a while, they would realize they could do without me, so guess what they would do? They would do without me. They would go and they'd start their own, coaching business or consulting business or whatever it was. And I was happy for them as my friends, but I was back to square one as an entrepreneur. So I realized, man, that model was just not what I was willing to do. And I drew a line in the sand. I made a decision, like John said, I made a decision that I was not going to do the next 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 years of my career, the way that I did the first 20, chasing deals, stressed out, great month, not so great month, great year, not so great year, always wondering, spending way too much time away from my family, on planes, flying around the country, flying around the world, and I drew the line in the sand and said, no more. I'm not willing to accept this anymore. See, that's what it takes, folks. That's what it takes. So my question to you is, what is it that you want to, not just want to change, what is it that you're no longer willing to deal with, to accept in your life, in your business? See, for me, I was looking for passive residual income. I was looking for business and income that I could create at one time and it could pay me over and over and over again whether I ever went to work again or not. And you know what? That was not happening in my traditional business. And the people that I talked to, and I dealt with a lot of traditional business people, a lot of traditional entrepreneurs, and I find that most people are in the same boat that I was in. I know John and Lal are. Now they get a lot more flexibility. But most of the Key's talking about it, right? Louis in the same boat. Hannibal's in the same boat. So the folks that I know, Craig's in the same boat, right? Tom and I were talking a little bit about it. So folks, the fact is that my question is this. If you could write the script 3 years from now, I call this the 3-year question. I like to ask it to pretty much every group, every organization, every person that I speak with. In fact, we were talking about it a little bit at breakfast. Right? If you could write the script where you could have your life look like exactly what you wanted 3 years from now, what would it look like? What would be different? Let me ask you some specific questions and just answer them to yourself. How much money would you be making 3 years from now? If you could write the ticket, just think it right now, and know that 3 years from today it would be done. What would that number be? Would it be the same amount that you're earning today? Would it be greater? How much greater? What would that number be? Decide. How about your time? What would your time and your freedom and your flexibility look like? Would you work as many hours? Would you still be working where you work? But you have the choice not to? How many hours would you work a week? Who would you spend your time with? Think about that. What would you spend your time doing? If you could literally write the script 3 years from now, and it would be exactly the way you want it, and you could have the finances that you want, the time freedom that you want, spend time with the people that you want, who would it be? How about impact? Let's talk about impact. Who would you want to contribute to? Man, I see Tom. Now I understand why he's so big, because his heart's so big. It took me about 2 minutes just listening to this guy talking. I'm like, okay, I get it. I know what John and Lel are in love with this guy. He's an awesome guy. Who would you contribute to? What causes? What people? Who would you inspire? Guys, what I want you to think about is if you could create and write the script for your life 3 years from now, what would it look like? At least be willing to play along with me enough to think about it. So most people don't even really think about it because they don't think it's possible. I'm here to tell you guys that it is. How do I know? Because it happened to a Cuban kid from Old Bridge, New Jersey. It happened to a pipe fitter from South Amboy, New Jersey. It's happening to these guys, and lots of other people in this room, and lots of other people around the country, and now around the world with Australia. And let me tell you, what John was talking about that's coming that we can't talk about because those millions will go away really quick if we do. All right? And you don't want to hear from us. You want to hear it at Elevate, at the Power Up program in just 3 weeks. 3 weeks from today, we will be sitting about 10 miles from here, all right, learning what we're talking about in detail. My question is, what do you want? And then here's the question, right? So if you think about this ideal of 3 years from now, my question is, 2 other questions. Why do you want it? Why? What's most important to you about that? What would it give you to have that? What would it mean to you to have it seriously? Are you willing to dream, man? Do you dare? Do you dare?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Why would it be important to you? And what are you willing to do to get it? That's the third question I'm asking. What are you willing to do to have it? I'm here telling you folks that if you want it badly enough, if your reason for getting it is deep enough in your heart of hearts, and you're willing to do what it takes to have it, you can. I'll even go as far as say, you will. How do I know? Happened to a Cuban kid from New Jersey, Oakridge. Happened to a pipe fitter. Happened to a former, radio personality. Happening. Why not you? Why not you? Folks, I've made 3 major decisions in my 10-year career in network marketing. So I literally walked away from consulting. I had just had it up to here, the stress, the travel, time with my family. I said, no more. I had a lot of money in the bank. I did what I would never suggest anybody do. I jumped into this business full time. Folks, not only do you not have to do that, in retrospect, if I had to do it over again, I probably would do it differently. Okay, because it put tremendous stress and pressure on me. I didn't know what I was doing. This is a business with 99% of the people that do it part-time. Pretty much 100% of the people that do it started part-time. So this is a business you start part-time. So, just a few years ago, folks, that's where I was. And now, this business has allowed my family, myself, to literally live the life that I was only dreaming of before. But I've made 3 major decisions in my 10-year career in network marketing. Every one of those was made at a major event like the one that's going to happen 3 weeks shortly today, just 10 miles from here. The biggest decision I've ever made in my career was made at a big event, just like the one you guys are going to experience 3 weeks from now. There's a reason we say big decisions are made at big events. Because that's when you see the magnitude. That's when you see the big picture. That's when you see the vision. That's when you have the opportunity to learn directly from the CEO, from the founder, from the top corporate executives, from the top field leaders, from the people that are doing it right now, that all they've done, they're just a little bit further down the road, they're just a little bit further along the journey than you are. So folks, there's a couple simple decisions. It's up to you. Look, we hope that if you're here as a guest today, that you've seen at least enough to want to be a customer. You want to support the person that invited you here today, be a customer, that's free. That takes 10 minutes, it takes 5 minutes to do online, like Scott said. And you'll go green, you'll help your buddy first and foremost, you'll go green, you'll help the environment, save a couple bucks. That's great. That's not why whoever invited you here invited you. The reason you were invited here today was because somebody wanted to see an opportunity that could literally change your life. It's changed my life, it's changed a lot of other lives in this room. So, what's the question? Does this make sense to you? If it does, then get involved. Folks, it's $99. It's $99 till Friday. All right? Till next Friday, the 16th. Which, by the way, happens to be my birthday. All right? So, that's kind of cool. We're the same age, 2 weeks apart, John and I. I know he looks 30, 40 years older, but that's okay. I love you, my brother. So the first is decide. If this makes sense to you, get involved. Take advantage of this $99. It's good for another week, another 6 days. You can share the opportunity where people can save a couple bucks, a couple $100 on getting started. Hey, $200 should not be the reason. Saving $200 should not be the reason you decide to do this business today. It should be for a lot of other reasons that we talked about. All right? But hey, if you can save $200, why not do it? And by the way, if you can get involved today and help the people that you know take advantage of that same opportunity, why not? Oh, and by the way, when you sign up, you get a free ticket to Power Up.
Dinner too.
Including the awards dinner, which is like we call it the Ampy Awards. It's like the Academy Awards for Meridian. I mean, it is a black tie event, black tie optional, but a lot of people will be black tie optional, so it will be the tux. All right? I mean, it is a beautiful event. That's included. Dinner, beautiful. The event itself, party Friday night, all day Saturday, Sunday ends about 4 o'clock. All included for free when you enroll, right? Get involved, give your people the opportunity. How many people do you know that you would like to help create something more, something different in their life? How many people do you know that aren't serious about creating something more, something different in their life? But you know what, folks? It all starts with you. Just like for me, it started with me, right? We all have to make our own decisions. So what are the moves here? Very simple. Number one, this makes sense to you, get involved. It's $99. Get to the person that brought you here today saying, I'm ready, sign me up, let's go. We're going to do some training. We're gonna help you get your first revolution, so you make $200 on your $99 startup. Now you're playing with the house's money, and you're in the game.
Yeah.
We'll start sharing the opportunity. How many people can you bring with you to the event next week? We got an open event, an open, opportunity event. That will be Friday night. They'll followed by a big party, and then Saturday and Sunday will be the main events. All right? Take advantage of that. Tom hit it right on the head. He said, I guarantee you, next year's Power Up will not be in DMV. I guarantee you that. You will certainly have to drive, if not fly. All right? So take advantage of this, guys. That's what I'm saying. If you knew what I knew, what John and Lowell knew, what some of the other top leaders knew, you wouldn't be here. You'd be out talking to people about what's happening next week. Guys, take advantage of it. What's that? 3 weeks. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 weeks?
3 weeks.
No, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I was like next week. I'm sorry, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. Okay? I'm excited, guys. I get excited too, right? All right? If this makes sense, get involved. Put Power Up on your calendar. Let's share the opportunity very simply using a little 11.5-minute video. It's a very simple model. We'll show you. You don't, like Scott said, you don't have to stand up in the room or do any of the stuff you've seen on, those of us who stood up here today ever doing. And folks, I'm telling you, you can build a significant business, and you could, if you want it badly enough, if your why is big enough, and if you're willing to do what it takes to have it, you could build a business that can not only change your life, but can help change the lives of literally thousands, tens of thousands of people. How do I know? Because a Cuban kid from New Jersey did it. A pipe fitter from South Amboy did it. And a laid off radio personality did it. Why not? And you know what, guys? The only answer to that question is no reason. The only thing that can prevent you from doing it is your decision. All right? We're here to do it together. Folks, as a business where we build as a team, I like to say we win together or we don't win. It's one of the things that I love most about this business. And let me tell you guys, it can change your life. I really, sincerely hope that you will decide to join us. Thank you very much for allowing me to have a few minutes to speak with you today. Are we going to do any kind of gathering or anything after this? For training for people who want to stick around? Was that the plan, or? Yeah. Okay. So here's what we'll do, guys. We're going to. It's a little after 11:30 right now. We're going to. We're going to take about a 10-minute break. Get your questions answered. If you're a guest here, get with the person that invited you here. Get your questions answered. If you have any questions, you want to get signed up. I think we have some computers here that can help you do that. And then we're going to stick around. I'm probably going to do a little bit of kind of casual training, light training for people who want to talk a little bit about the model and how we build this business. So, God bless you guys. We look forward to building together.
Real quick. Two announcements. Tuesday,